Every day you are losing respect in the eyes of people around you, and the worst part is that you have no idea it is happening. There is a specific pattern of behavior that quietly erodes your authority, your credibility, and the way others perceive your leadership. It doesn't announce itself, it doesn't show up in a single dramatic moment. It accumulates slowly and silently in the small decisions you make when no one seems to be paying attention. And here's the uncomfortable truth: the people around you are always paying attention, even when you think they are not. So the question is not whether this error is costing you, but how much it has already cost you and whether you are willing to do something about it. This pattern has a name, and once you understand it, you will start seeing it everywhere. Believe me. The error is inconsistency between what you say and what you do. Not dramatic lies or public failures, but the small daily gap between the standards you set for others and the standards you apply to yourself. You tell your team to be punctual, then you show up late. You ask for directness and honesty, then you avoid a difficult conversation. You preach discipline, then you publicly make exceptions for yourself. Each one of these moments individually seems minor, but in the minds of the people watching you, they are being recorded, cataloged, and weighed. And here is what makes this so dangerous. Most people will never tell you. They will simply stop listening to you. So think about the leaders you have personally admired most. What they all had in common was not talent or intelligence or charisma. It was alignment. What they said and what they did occupied the same space. There was no no gap, no contradiction, no asterisk. And because of that alignment, trust was automatic. You didn't have to decide whether to believe them. You simply did. So now think about someone whose authority you stopped respecting. You probably didn't lose respect in one moment. It happened gradually. A small inconsistency here, a contradiction there, and an exception made only when it was convenient for them. And one day you realize that their words meant very little to you. Their authority had not been taken for them. They had quietly surrendered it themselves, one small inconsistency at a time. This is what makes the error so dangerous. It operates below of the level of conscious conversation. No one pulls you aside and says, I no longer trust what you say. They just become harder to lead, slower to commit, and quicker to question. And you are left wondering why your influence seems to be shrinking when nothing obvious has gone wrong. So, what exactly must you understand to reverse this? The answer is not about becoming perfect. No one expects perfection, believe me. What people respond to is accountability. When you make a mistake, name it. When you break a standard, acknowledge it directly. When you set an expectation for others that you also struggle to meet, say so. That level of self-awareness doesn't make you look weak. It makes you look trustworthy. And in leadership, trustworthiness is the foundation on which every other form of authority is built. The practical shift is this. Before you establish any standard for the people around you, ask yourself a single honest question. Am I living this myself consistently when no one is watching? If the answer is yes, then you have earned the right to lead others toward it. If the answer is no, then start there. Not because leadership requires moral perfection, but because authority is not declared, it is demonstrated. And the people around you will follow the demonstration, not the declaration. Can you see it? The moment you close the gap between what you say and what you do, something extraordinary happens. People stop needing to be convinced. They stop needing reminders and follow-up and pressure. They align with you naturally because they trust that what you're asking of them is something you have already asked of yourself. Your authority is not something that was given to you by a title or a position. It is built day by day in the smallest moments of consistency. And it is protected or surrounded in exactly the same way. Decide today that the gap closes here. What you say, you do, what you ask, you model. That is not just leadership. That is the only kind of authority that endures.